Congratulations! You have made it this far. Along the way, you've probably made a few friends. And hey, who knows, you might have even learned a few things. This guy believes in you. And this guy believes in you. And this woman? Well, she's just plain crazy. Your professor is now asking you to write a reflection on what you've learned. Say what now? Yeah, I know what you're thinking. What in the name of St. Francis is reflection? Well, it's kind of how it sounds. Like looking in the mirror. Just as we look in a mirror and it reflects everything that we see back to us, writing our thoughts on a page reflects all the things that we've learned or thought about. It's the basis for analysis and deeper thought. When we reflect on new information, we make connections to what we already know. It's a key part of learning. In college, you're going to write a lot of reflections. We consider this to be the first step in analysis. The second step is to focus on the words and thoughts of other people. There are 4 keys to a good reflection. First, you're going to identify your themes and talking points. Tell your professor what part of the material made an impression on you and why it was important. Second, you're going to connect those themes to your life. How does this new information relate to your previous experiences? Third, give examples. In these examples, you're going to share brief stories or parts of your life that illustrate the connection between what you've heard in class and what you already knew before class. And fourth, you're going to explain those connections. Don't assume that your audience knows what you're talking about. Be specific. Once you've assembled all this information, you're probably wondering, how am I going to organize this? Let's start with your introduction. In the introduction, you should summarize the topic. Yeah, I know. Your professor already knows what the topic is. He or she does not need to hear it again. But in summarizing the topic, you're able to kind of bring focus to what you consider to be most important while giving an overview of what's being talked about. So you're going to identify some key areas in that topic. You're not going to talk about everything, just the things that are important to you. And then you're going to explain why these areas are important to you. This last point is very close to a thesis statement, and it's going to give focus to the rest of your reflection. In the body of the paper, what you want to do is you want to give examples. Focus on giving one example per theme or area that you talk about. And maybe use separate paragraphs for each of those themes and examples. In doing this, you're going to connect your life experience up to this point to the subject matter you're learning in school. And finally, in your conclusion, what you want to do is you want to summarize the main lessons that you've learned. And finally, explain how it's going to help you in the future. This last point is important because it shows that you're going to apply that knowledge. That you just didn't absorb it and now you're going to forget it. No, you're going to go forward now and use it later. So when writing a reflection, there's 2 things you kind of want to avoid, and it's just like looking in the mirror. First of all, you don't want to get too close to that reflection. Just like standing too close to a mirror gives you really good details on a small part of your body, it doesn't allow you to see the full picture. Likewise, if you step too far back, you get a really good overview of everything you're talking about, but no real concrete details, and it's hard to see what to focus on. So you kind of want to strike a balance between the 2 of those things. And finally, reflection. Don't try to be too nervous about it. It's pretty standard. It's in your voice. They're not looking for heavy analytics or anything like that. Be yourself. Have fun with it. Remember that reflections are a thing of beauty, and they're just a stepping stone into other types of academic writing. And if you have any further questions on reflections, please come and visit the Writing Center.